So this is a pretty cool episode because it's directly covering a daily good, that daily staple. In particular, I'm particularly curious about this butter brand that some of you guys might be familiar with. Anyways, this is Kerrygold Pure Irish Butter, and I want to do a little bit of research. First of all, what company puts it out, and then what marks the company owns, and then more importantly, how is this particular brand of butter actually protected? So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm already at the tsdr.uspto.gov site. But before we get there, I'm going to do a quick Google search just so you guys can see. So if we search Kerrygold butter, what we're going to learn is that it's put out by a company called Onura. See if I can get a little more information so you guys can see what I mean. So Ornua right here at the very bottom. So this is the company that we're going to research, Ornua. So it's a cooperative. If you guys are interested, you can read more about it. But basically what you'll discover is that they're one of the largest importers of Irish dairy products. So let's go back to tsdr.uspto.gov, and we're going to click on search trademarks. Now, once we're at search trademarks, we're going to do a basic word mark search. And then what we're going to do is we're going to search by owner. So we're going to search by Ornua. Now, this word actually means new gold. If you search owner name, what we're going to find is we're going to find a bunch of butter-related items. Now, this is pretty cool. I'm going to click on image list, and one of the first things that we're going to see is our butter right here. So this is the butter that I had in the video that I was showing you guys, block of butter. So this is an actual trademark covering that very item. I'm going to zoom out just so you guys can see. There's some very, very interesting variations. I think this is a really valuable episode because if you're putting out any sort of goods in the market, you might want to consider how your goods are actually packaged, and you might want to file trademark applications on the packaging itself. One thing that stands out right away also is that you can see that they're very creative in how they're filing multiple trademark applications on the packaging, and they vary what elements are actually shown on the package. So on the far right, you can see there's no Kerrygold words. All it says is pure Irish butter. And then it also has their slogan that runs along the top, which is milk from Irish grass-fed cows. We're going to click in and look at each particular one. So let's get started. Let's look at this one first. So as you can see here, I'm going to zoom in. This is the package. And as you can see, this is a three-dimensional configuration of a product packaging, right? So this is another three-dimensional configuration mark. Let's go in and let's take a quick look at what specimen was actually submitted with this mark. It's interesting because this was actually submitted recently. I'm going to zoom out so we can more easily see the specimen. And here you go. So this is the same package that I'm holding in my hand that I was showing you guys on the video. One thing that's interesting is that these details, the unsalted, the net weight, 8 ounces, that's not actually shown in the mark that was submitted, right? Because they don't want to limit it just to that, because some versions are salted. Some might be larger, some might be smaller. The point is that the distinctive source identifying aspects are the package, the Kerrygold logo, the pure Irish butter. That is what is sufficiently distinctive to be a source identifier. So that is why that is on this three-dimensional configuration mark that was actually submitted. Now, let's go back. Let's take a look at the other version. So one thing you'll note here is that they're claiming color as a feature. So silver, white, black, and green, and yellow. Now, if we look at the other mark, what we'll note is that this is gold, right? So this is covering, and I'll do the same thing I did before. I'll go into a new tab. I'll make it bigger. Another thing that's interesting to note is that its first use in commerce was, looks like 2020. I would have expected it to probably be earlier. That's interesting. Now, as you can see, this is also, they're claiming metallic gold. I'm going to click back. Let's go and check out the other package. Now, the reason why this one's interesting to me is because it's basically identical, but it doesn't have the middle logo or the text, the Kerrygold text, and it doesn't have the upper right logo that you see here, right? So this is more generic and broader. So the first use of this one was in 2011. Again, the goods and services are class 29, which covers butter. And then if we look at documents, I'm just out of curiosity, I want to show you guys a specimen that was submitted. So again, there you have it. So there's a specimen. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting to see. So this is yet another mark. Now this one's interesting because it has the Kerrygold logo, but it doesn't have the upper right logo or the text, the pure Irish butter text underneath. So kind of interesting to see the differences and to see their strategy for what they filed on. So as you can see, pretty broad, right? So they filed 4 different packages, 1 silver with all the text, 1 gold with all the text, another gold with less text and without the Kerrygold, and then another with the Kerrygold but no other text except for the text that runs along the top. So multiple applications. As you can see, they have a lot of other marks as well. So here's another Kerrygold mark, both words. And it looks like they also have packaging. So this looks like another packaging mark. So this is covering cheese. So let's see if we can find the specimen of this guy. So here's the specimen. It's not very helpful. Let's see if we can find a better specimen right here. Let's see. Here we go. So where is our cheese? Oh, here it is right here. So it's right here, Cashel right here. So as you can tell, this is actually the sticker that was actually put on the cheese itself. So pretty interesting. I hope you guys found this episode helpful. As you can see, creative ways to protect even things like your butter, the way that it's packaged. So actually, before we wrap it up, let's look at this mark. This looks like it's probably going to be a pretty old mark. So this was first started using in 1967. So this is the original Kerrygold mark right here. So pretty neat. And as you can see, they've been submitting specimens. I've been renewing it. So this is the specimen that was submitted. So that is Kerrygold butter. I hope you guys found this episode helpful and interesting. It's really fascinating the way you can creatively protect things like your packaging, the labels that go on the food itself. So hopefully this episode was useful to you guys. If you guys have specific questions, go ahead and email them to Victoria at victoria@adibiip.com. Alternatively, you can also join our text community, 415-943-5193, 415-943-5193. Would love to have you in our text community. Text me. You can send me your questions. I'll get your questions answered on the show. If you have ideas for shows, just send them my way. I'd love to have them on our show.